Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. Hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far. Welcome back to Valorant News. 100 Thieves are the champions of the Red Bull Homegrounds number 3, taking down Cloud9 in a dominant fashion in the grand finals. But while all that was going on, lots of drama about the IGL situation over at Cloud9, with the team stating that Ye was going to be taking on the in-game leadership duties, before then rolling that back as the series progressed, and then FNS gives his thoughts as well on why that just can't be a good solution for this Cloud9 team. Hit the like button if you enjoy, subscribe if you're new as always, I'd greatly appreciate it. I'm sure some of you guys yesterday figured out what's going on here now with these announcements, or like the teasers that G2 are trying to do. This one was too obvious, right? Because this is obviously referring to ShahZaM. The last few days have not been 100% clear which players they were teasing, which players they were referring to. But if we look the last few days here on some of these tweets, we can see this one, which of course is talking about Marved, this one is talking about Shroud, and this one is talking about Stewie, right? Because it literally says Stewie in the video. And then this is, well, Zoms, right, with the watches. So that is what we believe is going on here. They've gone through and they've followed Zoms. Every time they've done one of these teasers, they followed Zoms after the first teaser, followed Stewie, followed Shroud, followed Marv, followed ShahZaM. So they're trying to pretend that this is the roster of 5 that they're building here. But of course, we know that's not the case, especially because George Geddes finally confirms this. And I believe that, you know, he's known this for some time. We've all known this for some time. Probably he hasn't done an article yet on this just because he doesn't want the article and the announcement of it to affect the process of the actual discussions of the contracts and everything getting signed. So he's probably waited until the stars are aligned and until the contracts are signed and pen has gone to paper to now confirm this, basically. Not been announced yet, but it's coming soon. And as he says in the article here, so dapr and ShahZaM, former Sentinel stars, teaming up with Whippy and Penny as well of version 1, and then Oxy from Dark Ratio. Think there was one note that I hadn't heard discussed before, was that former Cloud9 player Curry was also trialed for the roster. He's not come through though, and of course Cloud9 have their current team without Curry on it, and I think they're, well, better without Curry more than likely, but nonetheless they're still not as good as 100 Thieves, and we'll see that here in a few minutes time. So that is the Sentinel situation. Just a few other updates for you guys. Toasts Org probably has Steel from the latest Flynn spreadsheet, pretty small, but if you guys want to pause and zoom in and everything, then feel free to do so. Some of these have now been confirmed. The SR team, the M80 team, of course, as it now is, and we've got FaZe, we've got the Guard, and the Guard Tex as well is apparently now practically going to be a guarantee. Purist comes in and says yesterday that yes, Valin, Trent, Jonah P, Net, and Tex are going to be the team of 5. And look, Tex was a phenomenal player, don't get me wrong, but that was in the Chamber meta, and we don't know what the meta is going to look like now. Yes, we saw at the Red Bull Homegrounds, even with Chamber in the old patch, Ye isn't necessarily quite so potent without the team around him that OpTic gave him. The Cloud9 might not be able to give him quite as yet, but yeah, Tex without the Chamber meta, it's going to raise some questions. We know that Ye and Cryo and these guys are going to be disgusting, but for Chamber players a little bit down the pecking order, such as Tex, like how good is he going to be without Chamber if Chamber is only viable on 40 to 50% of picks, as it might be the case after this nerf. Now let's dive into the Cloud9 drama then. So yesterday, the coach comes out with this, and this came out just before I put the video live, and I was like, what's going on here? Because I listened to this, and he basically says, like, the IGL responsibilities, Vanity, typically the IGL, but lots of other players have their ability to in-game lead as well, and he basically says that Ye is going to take over the responsibility. Now, like, I think this was just a troll, but the funny thing is that a lot of teams in past, not just in Valorant, but also in Counter-Strike, have made some very questionable calls on making their star player the IGL, which very rarely works out. So, like, I kind of believed it, right? Because, I mean, why wouldn't you believe it? They are stating it clearly, like, they're trying to be sincere in this video. Now, okay, yeah, he's kind of cracking up a little bit at the end here when he basically says, yeah, Ye's the IGL. But, yeah, nonetheless, people believe this and thought that it could be legitimate. Seems like a stupid idea, but it's not like other teams in the past haven't also tried similar things that have backfired spectacularly. So, yeah, they basically say that Ye is the IGL. He almost cracks up here at the end of the video, but he manages to hold it together, and people believed, okay, well, Ye's going to be the IGL, Vanity stepping into a different role, and what is that going to look like, right? And first of all, it looked pretty good. Zelsis and co. with Ye as the supposed IGL. Turns out that wasn't really the case anymore, though. Take down Crew 2-0 to advance to the grand final against 100 Thieves, and just as I predicted yesterday, 100 Thieves took this one down. Now, Ye here, so this is the old chamber. Now, in fairness, you can still do this with the new chamber, right? But, you know, he misses the shot with the operator, pulls out the headhunter, gets for 1-2. Like, yeah, that's kind of a classic Ye play. But it must be said, Ye individually was definitely not at the level this tournament that he usually is. Yes, they've had quite some time off now. They're playing a very solid 100 Thieves lineup that we knew they were going to be very good. They're obviously very well practiced. The Cloud9 team is new. They've got loads of problems to solve, loads of things to figure out. about 100 Thieves, we knew they have the core that's very solid, and they made just a major upgrade with Cryo coming through. And bang, every tournament I watch this guy, he gets better and better. I gassed him up yesterday, and he still just has some ridiculous plays. This is here on Bind at 12 to 10. Now, we know Bind, of course, is going for the map pool relatively soon, along with Breeze, but, you know, still, Split's coming back through. Pearl is still going to be there. Fracture's going to be there. But look at this from Bang. I mean, the spray transfer from 1 to 2 is absolutely stunning, to be honest. 1-2, Zelsis, and yeah, poor Leaf just gets to smoke, to be honest. And then Ye gets taken down as well for the game. So yeah, 13-10. Bang is just like, I mean, he was on the brimstone as well. It's just crazy stuff. So that was game 1. Then it goes to Fracture here. Zelsis clutches an incredible 1v4, actually. I don't know how he honestly pulled this one off. 100 Thieves kind of threw this one away. So, you know, good to see Zelsis showing up. But yeah, 100 Thieves clearly have a lot to be proud of for this performance, but also Cloud9 have a lot to work on and think about. Because yes, it's early days for this team, but even the coach the other day said that, yeah, maybe they feel like they're getting a bit overrated. They're not a super team. They don't have the best players in all of their respective roles. And, I mean, yeah, Zelsis delivered a great round here, but still, Ye wasn't getting set up quite as well, you could argue, as he was with this previous team. 100 Thieves win the series in dominant fashion. They 3-0 Cloud9. Wasn't really particularly close, never really felt in doubt. And, you know, congratulations to 100 Thieves as an organization, taking down, obviously, it's not exactly a tiny championship either. It's a LAN event, like with a lot of top teams. Cloud9, Liquid, not at full capacity, but Crew Esports were there, Vitality were there. There were some good teams in attendance here, and 100 Thieves win it without really skipping a beat, to be honest. As Bang say, 3-0 versus Cloud9, let's go. So what does this mean in terms of America's pecking order? We don't know how good Sen are. We don't expect EG to be particularly good. NRG, I think, could go either way on how good they are, but I'm very interested to see how that works in terms of how Artist performs compared to how Ye performs on Cloud9. We know that OpTic were set up around Ye. They were, you know, set up to try and ensure Ye's success, which they delivered incredibly well. Ye is the star player. He has the most ability on the team. He has the most raw potential, and OpTic set him up incredibly well last season. This tournament, though, the first one with Cloud9, Ye wasn't looking so good. Not because he's fallen off or anything, but probably just because he was a bit more uncomfortable in the situation. And whether, you know, NRG with Artist as Ye's replacement can get him to be that level of comfortable, like, I guess we'll see. It's a really interesting debate. Now, Ye's been taking some flack the last day, which I really don't think is justified, right? The guy is still unbelievable at the game. But, yeah, nonetheless, looking at some of these statistics, yes, he was the only player positive on Cloud9 in the grand finals, and as Elsa says, ran out of gas third map, happy with how the team played. Lots to improve on, though, for Cloud9, and they will certainly have to do so. Now, they would have been underdogs here anyway, right? It's a new team, brand new set of players coming together. 100 Thieves, pretty much the core was set there, very well established, played great at the end of last year with a clear upgrade in Cryo. No brainer why 100 Thieves should have won this tournament, but as Ye goes on to say, the IGL stuff was a troll. We were just messing around. So yeah, I guess Vanity is still the IGL, Ye is not the IGL, so I guess all of those rumours put to bed. But something kind of strange they did this in the first place, to be honest. So as he says, we'll learn for it for the next VTT. Had a bad tourney, made a ton of mistakes, hammers to the best of them, of course. But I just wanted to share this from NRG FNS, where he discusses this and says, look, if Ye is trying to be the IGL, it's never going to work out for the team.
With Jake in-game leading, the issue is that if Jake was picked up to be a hard carry, right? Like, we know that. Like, that's just obvious. Jake was picked up to be a hard carry. He cannot hard carry as an in-game leader. He just can't. It's very, 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 very hard to do. And he'll soon realize this. And I'm hoping that they realize it. That doesn't make him a bad in-game leader. That doesn't make him a bad player. That doesn't make C9 dumb for making him IGL. None of that. It's just, it's a cool thing to try. But other players have to be able to play on par with Jake's peak. And no one has a higher peak on that team than Jake. That's the main thing to me. And if he continues to do it, respect and props. But I think that they'll just go back to Vanity calling or whoever, and then he'll just go back to being himself. Because they need Jake to be completely freed up. But if he's calling, he won't be. He shouldn't in-game lead because he's taking away from his own ability to carry. And he has to carry. Jake has to be the best player on his team for their team to be successful. He said just bad tournament, he wasn't in-game leading? Oh, okay, cool. Well, either way. If he was, then he shouldn't. And if he wasn't, then good.
And these were the overall numbers then over the course of the tourney. Cryo had the #1 rating at like a 1.24 here. Then Leaf, Safe as well. Zyppan, Derek, Bang, Zelsis, Yampi, Asuna. And then Ye right at the bottom of the list. So usually you would expect for a team with Ye on, he's not going to be the 4th highest performing player on the team. Very rare, especially on the chamber with Cryo dropping a 1.24. So as I say, I don't think this is a fact of Ye falling off or he's not good anymore. It's more about the setup situation, right? I think that's kind of what NRG, FNS believes as well, that on OpTic team, he was playing with FNS, playing with Victor, playing with Crashies. The team was set up to make like Ye be the star player and deliver the performances, which he very much did. And this team also, Cryo is kind of potentially being put in a similar boat. Bang was the standout though I thought of the grand finals, but yeah, only a 1.03 rating in the grand finals here. And just to look at the overall numbers, I mean, we saw them a second ago, but Ye like kind of down here at a 1.10 rating compared to the rest of the players. Not what you would normally expect. So our Cloud9 overrated. They've obviously got a lot to work on going forwards, but I still think Ye is going to be a phenomenal player. But what it means without Chamber as well, if Chamber's less viable, then what does that mean for some of the top Chamber players? I think Cryo and Ye probably will be able to adapt better than maybe some other guys are, but nonetheless an exciting possibility to look at for the future. But very much enjoyed your thoughts in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed, subscribe if you are new, take care, and I'll see you next time.